So I guess moving a little bit past that, getting into, because this is a movie-based podcast, I'm going to ask you some specific movie questions. The one thing that I find, the one question that I always like to ask is that people who want to be in a creative field are kind of like inherently driven to want to be in that field and work harder and all that, but whenever I listen to interviews with like directors or cinematographers or editors, there's always kind of they always talk about this one moment that got them interested in wanting to pursue what they want to pursue, like whether that be like I knew someone who was involved. More often than not, I find that they're like, oh no, I saw this one movie or there was this one show that really gave me that creative spark and made me believe I can do it. So do you have that sort of moment or that movie or that show that kind of made you think, I want to do that? That's what I want to do with my life.
Yeah, there's a specific moment that stands out in my childhood when I first saw Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't really need to explain that movie much.
Right. So that's
but yeah.
I
remember watching that on a family trip and just seeing the creative uses of effects, the strange story it told, and listening to the commentary from Wes Craven, and just feeling very inspired by this desire to create that movie, that I wanted to do the same thing someday.
And it definitely led you into the horror genre in a nice way.
Yeah, it actually inspired my first short film. It was a very poor parody of Freddy vs. Jason that me and my brother made back in my backyard. And that was a real kicker to make short films. Me and my brother had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, those early projects are always the ones that like they're the most cringy to like think about, but there is kind of like a fondness to looking, a weird kind of fondness looking back on stuff like that.
Definitely.
The very first, I made a YouTube channel back in, I want to say 2010, with a couple of friends of mine, and our whole thing was we were trying to rip off, not like directly rip off, we were huge fans of the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic, so like it was all like really bad video game and movie reviews. And then they kind of fell out of it a little bit, but then I continued on with video production. And the very first thing that I tried to make after that was a really, really bad feature-length Slenderman film. And
Ooh,
thankfully, all that footage has been lost. But it's, I definitely, but there is like, even though like thinking about it, it's like just, I cringe so hard. It's terrible. Like there is kind of like this nostalgic feel of like, oh man, I'm running around the backyard with my friends and a camera and we're just making something like we're doing something no one else is doing. So
oh yeah, that's definitely how creepypasta's been too. It's just a lot of my friends hanging out on camera and we're just doing things, making projects. Then our creative soul's free,
yeah. So and then I guess one other question that I always like to ask in the vein of talking about movies and all that, that I feel like it wouldn't be a movie podcast if I didn't ask this question is, what is your favorite movie? Or favorite movies, like your top 5?
Oh man, I have a list somewhere of my top 5s.
Oh boy.
Because I have a weird obsession with making lists.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like I have to have a list because a lot of people ask me, oh man, what are your favorite movies? I feel like it's too broad. I would just start going on and on forever, so I feel like I need to have a concise like top 5 or a top 10.
All right, so here's at least my top 3. My absolute favorite movie is Across the Universe, the Beatles musical.
Yeah, I know that one.
It's such a movie. It's like a childhood movie to me. Like I've watched that since it came out in 2008, ironically enough. And the visuals of that are just beautiful. All that. That's for a later date.
Right. Yeah. No. I definitely. I remember seeing the first maybe 45 minutes of it, and I liked what I saw, but I don't remember if I ever finished it. I'll have to go back and check it out.
And my second is La La Land, the movie that we'll be talking about today.
Right.
I'll say that. And then it's hard to go with the third one because like it's always that one is always changing depending on my mood. But right now I'd have to say probably Amelie. That's another childhood movie I watched when I was a kid.
Oh, which one is it? Sorry, you cut out.
Amelie.
I don't know if I'm familiar with that one.
It's a French film, very popular, very stylized, very unique in a way. It's by Jean-Pierre Jeunet. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. But it's a very quirky, very stylized movie, and I love the storytelling in it a lot. It's very inspiring.
What's that one about?
A girl named Amelie. She has a lot of little quirks about her. She's painfully shy, and she discovers that she likes to help other people. And so she kind of goes around France, learning about people's backstories and trying to making them happy. It's just very cute.
I can imagine. So when you say quirky, is it kind of like what kind of quirk are we talking about here? Are we talking about like Wes Anderson quirk, or are we talking about just like French cinema as a whole quirk?
Kind of, I'd say Wes Anderson quirk. They all have their little personalities that make them stand out against each other. Very specific things that they like to do.
Yeah, I how do you, so Amelie, that's how you pronounce it?
Yes, Amelie.
I'll have to add that to my watch list, no pun intended. Let me pull that up really quick. I might even have that on there. Amelie. Oh wait, I know what this is. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen that poster before. Oh, and it is?
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
it's already on my watch list. Great, okay. So I'll have to make a point to getting around to that one.
Yeah, it's a very popular film. I've seen a lot of people discuss it. Back in high school when we took French class, my French teacher made us all watch it, and I just fell in love with it.
Yeah, no, I've seen that poster before. So yeah, no, I'll definitely have that pinned going forward. I'll check if I check that out, I'll let you know what I think.
Yeah, definitely. If you like Wes Anderson, you're gonna probably enjoy this film.
All right, so then moving forward, well, actually, one thing I should say is full disclosure. We're talking about the Creepypasta episodes. If anyone's interested, I've written 2 episodes of the series so far. We've also collaborated outside of that series, so if anyone's interested in going back and checking anything out, I'll link all of our collaborations down in the description, and also if you want to just check out Jacob's work in general, everything will be linked down there. You definitely should. A lot of really fascinating work. The one thing I might go back and edit this like chronologically so that it's earlier, but I think you had mentioned working with other YouTubers on different projects. So I guess let's talk, because I know you work with Rainbot a lot on writing her stuff. Is there any other collaborations that you've had that have been really fun or really impressive? And Rob Dyke too, now that I think about it. That one really kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, I wrote a few scripts for Rain and Rob Dyke. There's a few of them I don't know if I'm legally allowed to talk about because I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm working with my friend Drake Daglish. He has a few shorts out right now. Like, I've worked on his short film, The Kite. Won a few awards for that one for cinematography and composed the music for.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. His next film, Another Cabin Massacre, I did all the cinematography for. It's currently in the short film market. It's looking pretty promising. It's been nominated for a few awards. None of them I'm involved with.
Well, it is still really impressive either way. Mm-hmm. So are you kind of, just sort of talking video production in general, are you kind of, like, because I know that you, with Creepypasta episodes and, like, your short films and all that, you're kind of like do it all yourself, whether that be out of necessity or something that you just enjoy doing. Do you find that you kind of enjoy the whole process, or are there, like, different elements that you find yourself enjoying depending on what day it is?
I pretty much enjoy all of it. I love just having a creative outlet. Like, shooting is the most fun for me because I love cinematography. It's one of my favorite things. Writing is one of my passions. I love to write anything, anytime. Though editing, I could probably do without.
I can see that.
That's a long process that I just cannot sit still long enough for.
No, I get you. I'm kind of I understand that viewpoint, but I'm kind of the opposite in a weird way. Like the actual making of it is the part that I find myself stressing about the most in a weird way, because I always I have this weird like thing of like kind of like even if it's like my friends working on it with me, I'm kind of like, oh man, let's try and get this done as quick as possible. I don't want to waste their time. Like, not that I want to rush through everything, but I kind of I find myself most comfortable in the editing phase because it's where everything like actually starts to come, like you get to see it. Like it's one thing to like write down a script and then like get some people together and record like little bits and pieces of it at a time, but then when you actually start assembling it, I find that like that's kind of the most exciting part for me, at least, is it's like it goes from this from a concept to like a living, breathing thing. It's very, very rewarding, but I mean, different strokes for different folks. But
I definitely get what you mean, though. I get that same kind of rush when I'm filming something. Seeing something I've written acted out in front of a camera on set is a thrill to me.
Has there been in any of your projects? Is there like one? I mean, like I can imagine that you get it pretty consistently on almost every project. But has there ever been like one moment that you've shot or one moment that you've done in any of your projects where it was just so gratifying to see it come to life and it just got you so excited?
I'd have to say that would be Abstractions, my first original, like really original project. I remember the first day we were shooting that. We walked into my living room, which was a set that I have just completely destroyed. I built a fake wall for it, threw papers and all this just garbage around. I remember just standing there for like a good minute, just taking it all in, just realizing that a project that I'm making is coming to life. Something that I put all my originality into is real now.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, it is like, whether that be in the editing phase or in the actual shooting phase, it is always kind of a rush to, like I said, just take something from like just this abstract, like, again, no pun intended, but this abstract concept, and then like just kind of birth it into reality.